not really been performing up to the Na'Vi name. They are 1-3, I think, so far. Down there with Virtus Pro. I mean, even Darkside are 2-3. Namiga and One Move both 0-4. But yeah, at the minute, the favorite does go to BetBoom in this series, and I don't think that I'd be. I don't know, with the way you played yesterday, BetBoom, you looked really impressive, even going through that 70-minute match. You know, to me, they do stand out as the favorites coming into this series.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And I would say if Na'Vi would outdraft BetBoom, or at least have much stronger lanes, I would say, okay, yeah, they have a shot. But for me here, it looks like the laning phase will go in favor of BetBoom, or at least it will be even. What I'm looking for in terms of Na'Vi, if they are to have a chance in this game, it's Nicky Cool and his rotations towards the bottom lane. They have to be fast, they have to be efficient, and he has to be back into the mid lane as fast as possible. And while he's doing it, Sweden Strong needs to be in the mid lane, making sure the DP doesn't get the tower down, because it all comes down to this Tusk and him slowing down the Lycan, because you cannot leave the lanes early if you're Na'Vi, and that comes from the Tusk getting early levels and making sure that happens.
Yeah. One question I will ask. Oh, there's gonna be the wraparound coming out from Na'Vi. Do they actually? Looks like they. I mean, they're gonna be able to get the ward down. So this is gonna be a really nice ward to see if anyone steps into the river here. They are grouped up as 4 heroes. The Lycan away on the side of BetBoom as well. So if something breaks out, you know, at 4v4, you can see that Laser's already moving himself away as well on the map to just go for the blocks in the off lane, it looks like. But yeah, looking at the Slark, I saw a really interesting Reddit post that said that Slarks, the pros can't decide on what the build is for the Slark. You know, it's different every time someone picks this hero. Every single pro has a different build to this hero. Echo Sabers, Diffuser Blades go straight into the Aghanims. And what is it you think Pure wants to go for in this match? You know, what does the Slark need to prioritize getting his items to in this game?
I personally think that the Slark builds, it's not that the pros can't decide, it's that the Slark has a couple of builds that can be good. Ideally, you want to skip the BKB, right? Ideally, you want to get the second item, Aghanim Scepter, but it can't always go that way. That's the thing, that the game changes. So, I think ideally you want to go for a Diffusal Blade into a Aghanim Scepter, but more realistically, that's if the game is going amazing for you. But more realistically, it's going to be Diffusal Blade, Echo Saber disassembled into an Aghanim Scepter, or disassembled into a BKB if you have an issue. In this game in particular, though, I think Pure could even get away with a Diffusal straight into an Axe.
Yeah, and you can see that Pure, he's not getting shy about coming in for the right clicks, even taking some damage here from the, I mean, Laser's gone straight for the Whirling Death at level 1, so Pure, no Timber Chain, and yeah, Pure's just going to be sitting on right click down, trying to get these temporary stacks up on the Slark here. Laze, you know, what the build as well, because the Whirling Death coming through at level 1, it's going to deal with the trees as well. Or, you know, Toronto Tokyo trying to sit in the lane. He's going to be taking some harass as well from Sweden Strong. In fact, the body blocks as well. Toronto Tokyo, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, the Whirling Death comes through. Toronto Tokyo, he's trying to do what he can to keep himself alive. The stick charges. Can he get himself away? He can't. Sweden Strong picks up the first blood there. Toronto Tokyo is way out of position.
And that backhand slap was so long. It's like, I'm thinking, does the Tiny have more tank rage than the normal melee hero? Not really without the tree, so that was really weird, but yeah, he does get the hit in the end, and the first blood will go there, where Tiny has solid amounts of right-click damage. Both him and the tree have very low armor, and then when your HP as a strength hero is being reduced so much, you're always going to be susceptible to going down there.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the bottom lane, there is some harassment coming out here. The trades coming through from both. I mean, Na'Vi having 2 ranged heroes, so Nightfall, anytime he steps up for a last hit, he is taking some harassment, at least one of them. And Nightfall, yeah, even the curse just being thrown out here onto Nightfall, he has to be careful about the amount of damage he does take. H2O, how's he looking at level 2? So he does have a point into the glaives as well. And he is going to be picking up that intelligence, even just the temporary intelligence off the right click from those glaives. So it's a decent amount of harass that comes out from the silencer, and even if his right click does get reduced by the fade fault, you know, he can still trade off in other ways.
The idea here was just to have 3 heroes that cannot attract a creep aggro and just harass the Lycan before he gets his Helm of the Dominator. Nightfall, he is going to be struggling a little bit in terms of CS until that Helm of the Dom comes. Then it changes for him. It just becomes much easier because you're going to have the extra armor to really sustain the region, to sustain yourself against these two. They're constantly poking you, but he might be suffering currently, but he's not suffering as much as the Timber. Laze is the one that is really having a bad time into the CS.
Yeah, you can see that he's only got 7 last hits here coming into the offlane, but on the other side, you can see that Drow Ranger having a really nice time on the last hit, and then Drow Ranger is sometimes a hero because of the way the attack animation works, the fact that at level 6, that's your big, like, power spike, but Vichun at the minute, he's got those last hits down here, safe, trying to do what he can to H2O in the lane, and you can see that H2O, he's just trading right back into this, on the top lane as well. Again, Pure, he's not shy about coming through. Anytime Lay steps forward, Pure just goes in with the right clicks. And again, like you say, 2 melee heroes on the side of Na'Vi. This is what Pure can do. He does get those temporary stacks, which means that the longer that Lays wants to stick around, even if he does have the reactive armor, you know, he's still going to be giving up damage over to Pure. And yeah, Toronto Tokyo comes in, drops a leech seed as well, and all of a sudden Pure has a lot of regen going his way.
But Pure still has to be careful. You're up against the Tiny, who is level 3. So Avatos, you can die even with the 10 stick charges and the Fairy Fire. Sometimes you can get surprised. But one thing that we have seen from Bad Boom thus far is that they're very good at using their spells and items. And Pure, yeah, we can see that he's taking some damage, but we'll be fine.
Yeah, has himself a couple of tangos there as well. Getting over to level 4. He had the pounces, but just in case he got into danger, he did have that pounce available too. And you could see that Na'Vi, they were looking to get in front of him. They were looking to, you know, stop that pounce away to the tier 1 tower, just in case they could potentially get off that first blood. Toronto Tokyo as well with the Nature's Draft, just being able to pull the creeps right back through, so not going to be any farm disruption, or at least try not to be any farm disruption here. But Pure, the lane should just continue to push in favor of that tier 1 tower on the dire side.
Sure, one lane we haven't talked about much, which has pretty much been a stalemate, which is to be expected. It's always what we see in a Tusk versus a versus any range hero matchup. Even though GPK is not going to be in any kind of trouble, the Tusk is still going to be farming quite nicely. But as we get more levels in the Spirit Siphon, it becomes increasingly harder for the Tusk to really commit onto the creep. So now we're seeing GPK trying to make a difference in terms of CS between the two.
Yeah, and you can see that as well, the regen, what's he got coming out on the courier? It is going to be that one, so he's trying, he's got the infused raindrops as well. Nicky Cool, just trying to do what he can to keep himself alive in this lane. You know, he's a big tanky hero anyway. Like I say, the Spirit Siphon, it's no longer that max HP damage, that max HP drain coming out. It is just a flat drain, but at level 3, it's still a lot this early on.
Oh, it's insane. It's really a lot of HP that you have to go through. You can't really cover that often. Kind of the strength of the Tusk comes from the ability to harass his enemies. But speaking of harassment, Toronto Tokyo is taking a lot of it, but Pure is going in.
Yeah, Pure, can he get this kill? I mean, the Timber Chain comes out, Sweden Strong, he's going to have his spells up in the next few seconds. Toss already out, and you can see that Toronto Tokyo, again, just getting a little bit too far forward. He did try and drop the leech seed to keep himself alive, but the amount of burst damage coming through from the Avatos, from that Timber Chain and the Whirling Death, just too much for the train to stand, and he was felled there by the Timbersaw.
Yeah, Toronto Tokyo is still getting used to the laning mechanics of the safe lane. That is something that if people have watched their interviews that they've took, he was saying that there were some issues in the lane. Now it's looking better, but it's still not perfect. So in the future, probably we're going to be seeing Toronto Tokyo even better in the lane with Pure. But for now, he is going to be making these slight mistakes that twice will cost him his life. But at the end of the day, at least he forces the enemies to use a lot of spells, and then Pure can farm.
Yeah, and H2O, they're getting a little bit too far forward. The Rubik holding the telekinesis and the Fade Ball until he knew he was in kill range against the Silencer. And the Silencer, even the Wolves coming in to chase down and do the damage there. So getting the kill over onto the Silencer, and it gets Bet Boom on the board.
This is that part of the game where the Lycan will get his Helm of the Dom. It is done. And when we have to expect Nicky Cool to somehow help him, right? first you need to deal with the mid lane with the siege creep, which is something that he's doing. But if you're not rotating towards the bottom lane, it's gonna be problematic, or at least TPing. But I don't think Nightfall is gonna be as crazy to dive. I think what you want to do with this Lycan is apply pressure and get the tower.
Yeah, and you can see here as well that GPK has close to a full level advantage over the Tusk. The Tusk just hitting level 7, but GPK is looking to rotate off. Did he find it? Even going to be able to find the dry ranger now as well. Spirit Siphon coming out. B-Tune. Does he get himself away? He's not going to be able to. The Wild Wing Ripper pulling him back and securing that kill.
This is the thing. You can't go into the jungle in this game if you're Navi. You need the lanes to last longer. The Timbersaw can get enough hate towards him to pull 2 heroes. So you have the Tiny one extra hero to play the map with. And I understand that Bedboom, their heroes might be stronger with the Exorcism, with the Shapeshift, but you will have the numbers advantage to slowing them down. And with this kind of an approach, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And Nicky Cool is rotating to the top lane, so they're at least bullying Toronto Tokyo.
Yes, they did get another kill, but at this point, the tree, it's just playing the living ward role, scouting out Pure just to be able to put himself behind. Looks like he is going to be going towards the Echo Saber here for the Slark. Meanwhile, the Drow just has to move into the triangle. That's it. The lane is over. Lycan took the tower. And even the Exorcism, it's going to be coming out here in the mid lane. What can they do here? Because H2O is around as well in this mid lane. But you can see that GPK is just having himself in the trees, just letting this Exorcism go to work. Nicky Cool here with the War Response. GPK. Snowball coming up, and the Spirit Siphon was already there. So the sustain is out for the Death Prophet now. It's got 3 heroes in the mid lane. GPK trying to get himself around, but
another shard.
They come out once again. GPK, Spirit Siphon onto a creep, just trying to get as much health as he can. Still has one more charge. The Telekinesis as well. Snowball will be coming in, but it's going to be underneath the tier 1 tower. No Spirit Siphon for the next 20 seconds. And again, the Ice Shard, the Warriors Punch comes in, but Nicky Cool, he's going to be taking tower damage.
Maybe if the Exorcism was gonna last a couple of more seconds, Navi tried to commit on that one, but at least for now they defend their mid lane tower. But I'm looking at Navi right now. They allowed their bottom part of the map to be overtaken so easily. It's gonna be so hard now to protect your mid lane from 2, maybe even 3 angles. And yep, Living Ward dead yet again.
Oh, poor Toronto Tokyo. You know, he spent the best part of the last 2 seasons as, you know, the mid laner, taking all of the support from his team, you know, being the main focus, finding all this farm, and now shifted to that position 5 of his own accord. Though, you know, it's not like he was forced into it. He wanted to do it to play with the Bedroom squad. But, you know, finding out that life isn't roses is that position 5, which is the reason I don't play it.
No. This is the thing. When he played the mid lane, he always wanted his position 5. You know, in games that you're losing or not doing well in, like, they're ganking me. What are you doing against position 5? Go and die there. What the hell? And he's like, yeah, my cores, they want me to die. And he's taking this role quite literally because he is 0 and 4. And Navi have gotten only 4 kills thus far, so it is Toronto Tokyo that is giving them all of the kills that they've gotten so far.
Yeah, it makes a change from yesterday though when it was safe, giving away all the kills in that first game. Yeah, maybe they take turns, they sacrifice themselves. Speaking about sacrifice, well, it's not even a sacrifice, he's dying for nothing. Again, top lane, Navi, they pick up the tree. 0 and 5, Navi, 5 kills to their name.
This is a bad death, right? This is that treant death that you're staying in the on your lane for a very long time, and till the end he's gonna have the exact same death unless he baits them long enough. No one cares. Navi, they just don't care.
I mean, the Tusk is TPing in here. Does he want to try and make a move? Yeah, they're going to try and go here like him. Still has that transformation. He's going to be able to get the shift off on the Ice Shards. Doesn't trap him in, and the Wolves, at least the Wild...
This is dangerous.
Will be
Navi are dead.
Yeah, they're going to be trapped in. And B-Tune, again, no mobility. The Snowball's going to be coming through onto a creep, but it's going to be underneath the tier 2 with the Exorcism going. Nicky Cool, he's going to try and do his best here to keep B-Tune alive. B-Tune, with the multi-shot, the Crypt Swarm does come through, and it looks like Nightfall will take those tower shots. He doesn't want to dive further on to try and get that kill onto B-Tune, but Nicky Cool with that snowball, he's going to be able to keep the Drow alive, and the Drow immediately just backs himself away, drops that multi-shot, and then just puts himself out of dodge.
very dangerous thing that Navi just pulled off there, but in the end it's a disaster either way. They might not have lost their heroes, but they're in the bottom part of the map, and now you need to take all of this time to rotate back on the map, because bottom lane, the worst possible place you can be at. You can smoke towards there to get a kill, maybe clear out your jungle, and then go back to farming, but you cannot stay on the bottom lane. So many angles that Bad Boom can come from, and you're not even gonna see it coming. Navi, man, they should be very happy that that ended as it did.
Yeah, and you can see again, EGB giving the odds 8-1 here, nearly 9-1 for an out from Navi. It may as well be 9-1 for Navi. Bad Boom, you know, just getting out close to evens here on the odds. You can see as well that, I mean, the Slark's going straight for the items after the Echo Shaper, which makes sense. You know, you want that long-range pounce to be able to close the gap onto the Drow Ranger, get right close to him, and deal with this marksmanship bonus that comes out for the Drow Ranger. But V-Tune, how is he looking? He is second to bottom net worth. He's about 1,400, yeah, 1,300 gold behind the Slark as well. So the Slark at the minute, just having a really good time here, Pure, not really being contested on his farm. 0-0-0 for him here, Slark, which just shows up he's having the perfect PvE game at the minute.
There it is, the smoke from Navi to push out Bad Boom from their big jungle, but Bad Boom read it, and then you just go for a counter smoke immediately, and it's gonna be very easy to get the kill.
Yeah, they might try and chase down. Charkham will be coming through here from Lays, so it looks like the Death Prophet going to be backing himself away. Doesn't want to overcommit, but Exorcism is going to be 20 seconds away. So like you say, if they can force a fight here down on this bottom part of the map, and then maybe look to rotate, if they have that Exorcism up, they could potentially look into the Roach Pit here on the side of Bethlehem.
When you look at Navi's lineup, they're much more reliant on getting the kills. The Tusk and the Tiny, they rely on these early skirmishes that you get the kills from, whereas Bad Boom's lineup, they still get towers. They're still very good at taking objectives, so their timing is just yet only now coming. Navi, they're definitely feeling the pressure currently, and way too many heroes are on the bottom lane, and they can't even protect the tower. It's still gonna go down.
Yeah, you look at this, the Ancient Black Dragon, the transformation comes out here, the shapeshift from Nightfall. They might be able to get a kill on the backlines, though. Save going to get himself away from this one. Chakram's going to fly through, but Save, he's still alive for now. And they're going to be able to get the kill to Sweden Strong. Lays is chasing out. They do eventually get the kill. Ice Shards takes him down here, but Lays will be in trouble. They lose 3, and they're going to lose a tier 2 tower, like you say. The shapeshift here for the Lycan, he's got that Ancient Black Dragon still going. So now, you know, Bad Boom, okay, they've used that Exorcism, so maybe they don't move into the pit for now, but again, it pulls all the aggro away from Pure, who, again, he's just pushing out this top lane, find the farm onto the creeps, and getting closer and closer towards that Aghanim Scepter.
I like that Bad Boom went for this kind of approach, and that it's working out. I feel like in some of their games, they're relying too much on individual skill and the way that they're utilizing spells. And sometimes it's just a problem for them because you miss 1 or 2 spells, which we don't even see on the screen, and it's not working out too well because that's what you put all of your trust in. But in this game in particular, it's not so much about spell usage as it is in terms of positioning, and they've been positioning quite nicely. But Navi, I have to say, they haven't gotten a pushback. When you defend the tier 2 on the bot or on the top, if you're dire, you see the enemies, you need to jump them immediately. If you're waiting for the tower to drop low and allowing the enemies to choose when the fight will start, you will in 99% of the cases lose that fight, because it is not you choosing when it starts, it is not you initiating, it is not you surprising the opponents, and they're coming from 10 angles, and you won't be able to respond. You just get surrounded completely. So I'm kind of surprised that Navi just stuck around that tower, waiting for it to get low, and then they started running away. At that point, it was too late.
Yeah, Toronto Tokyo is back now. It was just a game crash, so he's going to be able to get himself right back into it. Not a major pause here, so the tempo not going to be disrupted for either side. And so what do you want to be doing here if you are Navi to get yourself, because I mean the net worth, the kills are even, but 15 minutes into this game, 16 minutes in, it's an 8k net worth lead here coming out for Bet Boom. And they are losing objectives around the map. You know, how did they get themselves back into this, Navi?
I mean, I don't know if they can get back into it, but I think the goal remains the same for their lineup. You need to be somewhere with the timber and know when the enemies are coming for him. When they are, you without hesitation jump on the first hero that you see. You blow him up. If you can't do that, the fight is lost. And if you can't do that in this game, probably the game is lost. So you just go for plays like that. That's what your lineup is built to do. But I haven't seen Navi even once in this game, jump someone without hesitation. Though now they do have a blink dagger on the Tusk, so it makes it slightly easier to really go for plays like that.
Okay, yeah, we'll see what they're going to be able to do here with this blink on Nicky Cool. What gaps they are going to be closing, and what heroes they're going to be able to gank off. I mean, Nightfall, you look at him, he's going to be using that shapeshift form again, just to get himself around the map, do a little bit of scouting here as well. But it looks like BetBoom, they want to apply pressure to the next tier 2 tower in the mid lane here. GPK forcing it out, but you can see Na'Vi in the jungle, just looking there, finding some farm, maybe looking to catch somebody out. Pure, he's blended safe though, that Spidey sense, it's tingling. And he's moving himself back. He's got himself the Aghanim Scepter as well. It looks like he wants to go back for another Echo Saber here as well. You know, with the Ogreax being queued up, about 180 gold away from picking it up. So maybe this Ancient stack right back into the Echo Saber, and then potentially, you know, he quits this PvE lifestyle and gets himself into the fights. But the smoke will be coming out here from Na'Vi. Let's see which way they want to rotate, and how are they going to be able to find anyone out? Because again, VTune, he's not with the team. He's just looking to find some farm in this lane.
BetBoom, they're always aware. When Na'Vi are going for a smoke, BetBoom are going for a counter smoke. They just don't want to be initiated on. And if that's not the case, if Na'Vi aren't getting that first kill with the global silence and the jump, the fight is over for them.
Yeah, smoke's going to wear off in the river, though. Save. Do they have the engagement coming on to Nicky Cool? Nicky Cool, he's going to be south. He doesn't have that BKB now as well. iShot comes out, but that's a double pounce from Pure, so Pure will be getting involved here. Gets himself a kill, or a second kill on the board on the Slark. And now they have that exorcism up. They've got the kill onto the Tusk. Do they want to go for even more? Sweden strong. He gets that toss back. Pure, though. iShot slides on. He's stolen by the Rubik. Yeah, can they get in range of the telekinesis? It is down for the next 5 seconds. But they have that range. Pure, he's going to overdive. Sweden strong, not going to be able to get himself away. They can move into this pit with the exorcism if they want to here now, BetBoom. And it looks like that is exactly what they want to do.
He should have taken that tree and then jumped over the cliff. But you saw, as soon as it's BetBoom initiating the fight, it's panic from Na'Vi. Of course, the gold lead now, it's insane. Of course, the exorcism now will take down the Roshan. One thing also is making a big difference in this game and shows how BetBoom want to approach it. They never want to allow their enemies to have any kind of vision on the map. They got a very early gem. And now it's 19 minutes. I think they bought it like 15 minutes into the game, and they've just been taking down vision everywhere on the map. BetBoom are playing on the bottom lane around their own vision, and Pure is playing on the top lane during nighttime with the gem in hand, meaning that he cannot die. There's absolutely no chances. Even if the enemy smoke towards him, he's a Slark, and once the smoke breaks, he's gonna see them earlier than they see him, and it's just impossible to catch him. It's impossible to kill him. Thus, it's impossible for Na'Vi to play the game. Now, at least during this time when the Rosh is being taken, you can go back into your jungle and remove some of the vision, which is exactly what they do.
Yeah, you can see there was the outpost snatch coming back in. Oh, they're going to be able to get the jump with the Laze. Laze doesn't get himself away from this. He's just dead. Straight up Slark stepping into this game now with this Aegis, with the Aghanim Scepter going towards the shot as well. Not going to be too far away from that. The gold needed about 200 gold, and Pure, he wants to go for more. He actually hits it onto Nicky Cool. Nicky Cool going to be in trouble, turns around with the tag team, but the silence comes through, so no snowball, no iShot just yet. And the chase on from Pure. Pure is going to be able to pick up another kill here in this game. 3-0 and 2.
With the shard of the Slark, any chances of Na'Vi are gone. Because even if he would get the perfect initiation, there is gonna be a Depth Shroud protecting whoever it is there. Slark has an Aegis, so he can be aggressive, and if anyone else gets jumped, they're gonna be instantly protected by the Depth Shroud. That makes it impossible for Na'Vi to defend even the mid lane. They have a Tiny, but he doesn't have a Blink, and I don't think Sweden Strong is ever gonna get it. Again, you know, Sweden Strong Tiny strikes once more and not getting the Blink at the at a timing that is needed for his team.
Yeah, and like you said, the power spike on the Tiny, if he doesn't have that blink, he's long past the point of being able to just jump in, or maybe on the Rubik, because the Rubik only has 1,000 health. But, you know, being able to jump in, get the Avatos combo off, and get the blow-up potential coming through here, it's just, it doesn't work. And do you think this might be a sign for Na'Vi to stop taking the position for Tiny? Because it just, every time, like I say, every time we've seen it, it just doesn't seem to work for the team. As Nicky Cool once again, Exorcism is going to be popped, and they pop Nicky Cool. Global silence will be there, but Pure just says, okay, I'm going to right-click. What? silence means nothing to me here. Blaze can't get himself away. GPK picks up the kill, and they're even going to be able to go. The exorcism comes out. They might be able to pop this Aegis now onto the Slack, but the telekinesis onto the Drow Ranger, just bring him right up close here to Pure. He's got a front row seat to get right clicks coming through onto the Drow Ranger, and Drow at least gets the 4-step back to the base. His other teammates not going to be so lucky. Nicky Cool taken down again. That is the dieback coming through, and boom, they're just starting to take over this base.
Yep, they don't need to stop, right? No one is even close to dying. Pure getting close to it a couple of times, but he still has the death shroud, so really his life is not going to be taken. And this game one is just over. And GPK, they're waiting for his rampage. Oh man, they're just such nice teammates.
Yeah.
Toronto. Yeah, because he's like, I'm the one true mid laner, and that is just the nastiest thing I've seen all day.
Well, at least GPK's not gonna laugh about it. You know, there's no salt, no tilt over that, as it looks like that. So they're just looking to close out that game. Yeah, he was having fun. You saw him on the web.